Sup bitches, today I'm gonna teach you how to make Shitux unbreakable. So, as the name goes, Shitux is fucking shit. It breaks every other week cause some unpaid fat guy did a typo. And sadly, since again, this is Shitux, almost no mainstream distributions have the equivalent of Windows System Restore pre-configured. Also, there's a bunch of retarded practices that make breaking Shitux even easier, but don't worry, we'll go over everything. I'll try to make everything relatively user-friendly for the
figure like Linus. I'm a professional
out there, but there will be parts where we touch the terminal, and you shouldn't be afraid to do your own fucking research. So, grab a rope, grab a razor, and play that shit. Alright, so right off the bat, and probably the easiest step, download Timeshift. A lot of distros already have that shit. If you don't, I mean, just type it in your package manager. It's a graphical tool for easy snapshots, kinda like Windows System Restore, it only affects your system files. Now, before you turn off the video, because you probably already use this, stay with me. There's two types of backups, rsync and BetterFS. If you're using Ubuntu, Mint, Debian, etc., it's very likely your PC is running off an ext4 partition. You have no choice but to use this, and you will be fucking happy. It's pretty good. Rsync is, dare I say, fucking goated. It's a 1.1 copy of your files, and any further snapshots will just be whatever changed since then, so it won't occupy much space. Still, it is a copy of your root folder, so it obviously occupies a few gigabytes of space. But don't worry, we'll get into a few big brain, big dick strategies to mitigate this. Another big pro of rsync is that you can use it over network and external drives, but for that you have to get into some command line and wiki shit. And then there's BetterFS. Don't use this shit. Fedora, OpenSUSE, Arch, if you use Arch install, etc, probably have BetterFS. But it's fucking horrible, dude. Please don't. Almost all distros have this shit misconfigured. Sure, you can try giving it a test run, and it'll likely work, like no problem. Cause I swear to god, half the people shilling this shit with BetterFS literally just tested this once, then injected themselves with metastasized cancer and swayed about it in Reddit. Cut the western shit. So I'll show you really fast why BetterFS Timeshift is gay. We just installed Arch through Arch install. Let's do a Timeshift and uninstall our desktop environment. Yay, it works. Now, let's try changing our kernel and removing the original one. Yeah. So the reason why this shit happens is because our boot partition with our Linux kernel isn't snapshotable, and Timeshift molds the fuck out. We need a schizo do-it-yourself setup to make this shit work. There's like virtually no mainstream distro that makes this shit work out of the box outside of like OpenSUSE, and that distro's kinda dog IMO, like, not gonna lie. Now, the theoretical pros of BetterFS snapshots is that they don't really take that much space. Restarting from them is just a matter of restarting, and you can boot from them. Unlike rsync, they're not a literal copy of your files, they only track changes, so you can be very liberal with your snapshots. That is, if they fucking work! Seriously, nigga, just use OpenSUSE, Spire Linux, or some fork that does a grub BetterFS plus snapper setup or whatever the fuck for you. I don't want to spend half of this video teaching you how to manually install Linux with a correct setup. If you do install one of those distros, it should work out of the box, and it will automatically create snapshots before and after updates. If you don't want to, I'll link you some resources on how to do it yourself. The one con with BetterFS is that you can't really export snapshots to another drive, as far as I know. Unlike rsync, where you can just, you know, like, do it over the network, or like, do it over an external drive. So snapshots are the pillar of your system stability. They're the absolute last resort. I recommend right after you install Shitux, do your basic setup, run Timeshift, and create a quick rsync snapshot. I don't really recommend scheduled snapshots, especially the default settings like what the fuck is this? 5 dailies? The space consumed will eventually swallow your computer. Don't do that shit. At most, I recommend 1 monthly automated snapshot, but generally, I just do snapshots for a big update. Also, yeah, obviously, don't back up your home. Do you really want to make a copy of your furry collection?
And then, oh fuck!
So after 30 years, the Linux community still hasn't agreed on how to install software. As a result, we have distro package managers like APT, Pacman, etc. that are all incompatible with each other.
Then there's incompatibility.
Now have the same software with differing versions. And then you have devs that just expect you to compile their program, others that want you to run it off a random portable folder, and others that want you to install a package manager on top of your package manager. XDDDDDDD, go fucking kill yourself. I feel one of the biggest issues regarding stability in Linux land is a reliance on one mono package manager that makes no distinction between system and user software. Just like installing a driver, to install Audacity you need root privileges. When you update your system, all your libraries, drivers, and etc. get updated alongside your Bing Bing Wahoos, whatever the fuck. This shit is retarded. I can count on so many hands the amount of times a random program I actually use breaks because whatever Janny working at package maintenance updated the core library and the new version is incompatible with it. And the more and more packages, complexity, and interdependencies you add, the more likely it is for something to fuck up. Yes, there's probably some fat guy on Reddit who installs everything through their distro package manager for the past few years and has no issue. But trust me, almost everyone I know has had some random dependency issue break their shit. I mean, everyone I know that uses Linux, I mean, like, nobody uses Linux. Holy shit. Also, it's even worse if you're using a fixed release distro like Debian, where they take a bit of time porting old packages to a new version. A distro upgrade might as well be a nuke because it might delete or make a bunch of old packages unusable accidentally. Yes, new drivers and shit is good, but it shouldn't touch any user-facing software like my fucking Audacity, my music player, like whatever, you know what I mean? Speaking of Debian, it splits so many packages arbitrarily that it's really fucking easy to cuck yourself. I feel Arch IMO has the best packaging practices when it comes to Linux. Compared to other distros, there are only like a few packages with everything you need included, so when you have a point of failure, it becomes really obvious what it is. Yeah, use Arch, by the way. So, what can we do to minimize this digital AIDS? IMO, the best way of organizing your Linux system is to have the base system files be installed through the distro package manager. That being your audio server, system daemons, desktop environments, themes, fonts, that sort of thing. But other than that, please use something else to install anything you want, be it programming libraries, Steam, browser, etc, etc. I recommend Flatpak, AppImage, and the variety of other package managers available if somehow what you want isn't available, which probably won't be the case. Flatpak is super easy to use, it's just a matter of installing it through your distro package manager, then doing the usual shit like Flatpak install X, I mean, you know the drill. There are some extra packages that interop with it, like XEG portals, that you should really install, by the way. There's also GUI programs that work with it, but I ain't about that shit. One really important move you should do with Flatpak is put it on user mode, just append this to any command. What this will do is install Flatpaks onto your home directory. That way it won't clutter your /var and waste space in your snapshots. Remember, most Flatpaks are user-facing applications. If you get some gay update, remember you can just not update. You can downgrade the app that has this specific issue, and it won't take the whole system with you like it would if you went with the mono package manager way. Flatpak is really smart when it comes to dependencies. Yes, it can be initially scary to see it downloading gigabytes of AIDS on the first package you install, but I guarantee you that it will stop the more apps you install. You can also pretty safely assume you have most needed dependencies, as in most cases, the people who uploaded the apps to FlatWeb are the actual fucking developers, not some random unpaid Janny with very strong opinions. Yes, even for gaming, you can mostly forego adding a multi-lib repro to your distro by just installing Steam, Lutris, Wine through Flatpak. Oh, and by the way, install Flatseal so you can just manage app permissions in case you run into issues. After Flatpak maxing, your system package count should be pretty small and updates should feel way less scary, Golden Freddy, you got to Nitrous type shit. If you want, you can also update all your Flatpaks much of the same manner that you can with your regular package manager. I could not understate how much less stressful this will make your experience. Linux fags love to jerk themselves off over how Windows Update is so bad and so on, but I feel the only reason they do so is because they tend to be forced.
Obama, you fucking nigger! I'm a racist! You made me a racist!
I almost never had a Windows Update kill my PC or fuck with my workflow or my most used apps. I just can't say the same for most Linuxes. App Image is pretty self-explanatory, it's basically just a portable exe. I recommend getting App Image Launcher. It's an app that will integrate app images into your start menu. Holy fuck, those are a lot of apps. Search for updates if you wanna, just extra fluff. Unlike Flatpak, App Image is not sandbox and will use some native libraries, so it may cause some problems, but I only experienced breakage from that once. Other than that, you have DistroBox, Homebrew, Snap, Nix, etc, but the times you need to rely on those is pretty much zero, at least for me. I use Arch, but even though it's the MLG, ooh, so shiny, faggot distro, my packages are generally pretty old. I use Linux LTS and tend to update maybe once every 3 months. Is it bad practice? Yeah, I mean, kinda, but I don't really care. There's so many times when some random package gets broken for like a week or so, like, if it works, that kind of deal. When there are security problems, it's mostly in the browser, so just update that often, use an ad block, and don't go to sites with AIDS. Most impactful updates for gamers are just usually in the Linux kernel itself, which has drivers and shit like Mesa, Wine, Steam, which should be Flatpak, and you can update those two separately pretty safely. Other than that, upgrade whenever you want, or if you somehow see a glaring security issue that is somehow actually applicable to your current system. But don't forget to make snapshots beforehand.
Oh my god, emo kid, you know it. Emo kid, I slipped my wrist.
Okay, so what if it does break and you can't boot up your PC? Usually that's due to a driver, bootloader, or desktop environment issue. You can try to boot up from a USB and do a system rescue from there. Always keep one with shitx on hand. Most of the time you just have to downgrade the package or just restore it from an existing snapshot. Dude, I won't really handhold you through this, cause if it does happen, it'll be so far away you likely will not remember this video. Just go on a fucking wiki or something if you need to. I think one thing that you should do for general digital hygiene and peace of mind is to back up your .dot files on package list. That way, if you ever change PCs or format for some reason, you can quickly recreate your environment. It's really cheap on space to do so, I mean, it's just a couple of fucking kilobytes. Generally, the most important .dot files to back up is whatever the fuck you modified in / etc, shit on .var, which is where Flatpaks lie, .config, .local, so on and so on. Just use your own discretion. And by backup, I do mean backup. Put that shit on a pen drive, cloud, second computer, whatever you want. You can do the same for your rsync snapshot if you want to. So yeah, after doing all that, you should feel pretty safe that your PC won't blow up when you sneeze on it. Okay, so the same fat, sweaty, and really hairy unpaid nerds that make Linux into shitx over-engineered a different type of distro to solve the problem of what if update breaks system XD? Okay, but for real, shout out to all my fat, sweaty, and really hairy unpaid nerds that make the world go round. I would donate to them if I could, but I live in O-Block. So, immutable distros are recommended a lot as a solution to the retarded self-created problem of most mainstream Linuxes not having a fucking system restore and an emergency recovery partition set up by default, just like Windows since, I don't know, decades. Dude, even fucking Fedora is ass at this. They changed to better FS, but they literally did not set it up to be compatible for snapshots. What the fuck is the point then? I thought this was supposed to be a professional distribution. What are you doing? Why are you gay? This is a big generalization, but what most immutable distros do is they drop you in a pre-configured environment where the system is read-only. They have the users download software through user-facing package managers like Flatpak. Updates go by an image-by-image basis. It keeps everyone on a unified configuration. In a way, it's much like Android. SteamOS is an immutable distro too, for reference, if you fuck with that. I don't. Steam Deck is kinda gay. And bulky. Instead of all this snapshot and compartmentalization slop, you just have to deal with your agnostic package manager, and if you run into a system issue, you can revert to an earlier image at boot up. And that sounds really fine and dandy and less cumbersome than everything I've been building on so far in this video, but like, dude, what if you want to use a different desktop environment or drift away from a default config, enable a daemon, like, so on and so on. Most of these immutable distros are built on KDE, GNOME, and the like, and I don't really like those. If not that, some shitty telling window manager that furries are on right now, and I really don't like those. Sorry Echo 2K. There's a bunch of variants just so you can get certain software pre-installed, because trying to add system packages to the base image is a hassle. Going from conversations I had with people that use these distros, threads, and forums, they seem initially simple, but if you ever run into a problem, there tends to be not much info about what's wrong. And you might have to do whack-ass shit that nobody else does to fix a minor issue like, I don't know, bad drivers or whatever. And taking a rather autistic philosophical view, I don't know dude, immutable distros don't seem like they're for desktop. Tools should be molded around man, and he should modify them as he sees fit, not the reverse. The whole point of Linux is choice, and taking that away from users because you don't trust them is kinda gay. Of course, you could also argue from the negative liberty standpoint, liberty from crashes, undefined behavior, configuration jank, etc. And to that I say, words, just kill yourself, take a snapshot, install software responsibly, and I'll promise you, you'll be fine. And I mean, you can also just try them and back up your home. Psst, a separate home partition really helps with this, but I want to use one unless you intend to distro hop, because you can run out of space really fast. And maybe it actually is for you, but I have the right to call you gay and European if you cry about it. For a work setting, consumer-facing devices, home theater PCs, or even grandma's laptop, immutable distros seem really nice and likely the premier choice, but I don't know, it's not something I can easily recommend. If you do want to try one, look into the Atomic section of Fedora's website, or alternatively, UBlue. I haven't used any of those for more than 10 minutes, but those are the most popular, I mean, fuck it. Oh, there's also NixOS, which is a whole beast of its own, but frequently associated with immutable or atomic distros. It's the peak of autism. So why am I not using it? Well, the whole gimmick of NixOS is that you configure everything from a few files, and well, that sounds really cool at a glance. In reality, what you're doing is just consuming a lot of time just to reinstall Linux faster. Remember how I said immutable distros have a slew of their own weird troubleshooting quirks that they target demographic or work settings, consumer devices, and tech-illiterate low-need people? Multiply that by 100x with NixOS and remove everything right of work settings, and even then, I don't know. I heard some military drone company funded NixOS's GitHub and they made the project bleed members due to drama like
No queremos apoyar al complejo industrial militar estadounidense.
like some shit like that, so maybe it's useful for something, I mean, if they use it. Like immutables, I don't even want to half-heartedly recommend you NixOS. I just rather slit my wrists and use it. So yeah, you're like 99 endurance and vitality right now. Tank that fucking shit like a big scary black man. Peace.
If you give up, that's when you fucked up. Get your fucking racks up.
Yeah,